Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. We are actually following the Rochor River and we're going to see where it finally leads us, because I have no idea where it will go. But so far, we are now at the KK Hospital, or outside the KK Hospital, and we're going to continue walking along the river and see where we finally end up. Welcome back. So, we're going to continue walking along this river, the Rochor River, and look at that, fishes, much more fishes. And in front of us, it seems to be there is having some renovation work. So we're going to have to continue walking along the road. And the road on my left is actually Kampong Java Road. And the river has actually disappeared underground again. So it seems to have crossed the road under us to the middle of the road. Yes. So from where we saw earlier the construction site there, it went underground and then it appeared again in the middle of the road, or in the middle of two roads in that direction there, and falls all the way down there. So I've crossed the road. I found the river again. And it's heading down that direction. And what we're going to do is we're just going to continue walking along the road with the river in between the two roads. And we're actually walking past a very interesting building. And as we are walking along this road, we'll be walking past a very interesting building here. And the name of the building is the Red Swastika Society Foundation building. And here's the building. So this Red Swastika Society is actually a voluntary association founded in China in 1922. And what very interesting thing you can see here is the red swastika symbol along the building, which in Chinese culture, it symbolizes the universe. And so this building, or this society, in the past used to do lots of charity, and now still they do charity. So it's mainly a religious organization focused on charity, with headquarters in Taiwan, but they also run schools in Hong Kong and also Singapore. So as we keep heading down that direction, with the river actually flows in between these two roads, and below the flyover, the name of this flyover is the Kampong Java flyover. There's a bridge, and from the bridge you can actually have a look at the Rochor River, and it actually flows right underneath the flyover, this huge highway here, which is part of the CTE, or the Central Expressway. And to continue along the river, we will have to cross under the flyover, and we'll cross under here. So as you can see, the river flows under the flyover and continues down the road. And the road we are on now is still the Kampong Java Road. And across from us, the other road is called King Lee Road. And as we are walking along here, I noticed that lots of condominiums around this area here. This is actually quite a well-off area. And this is the Rochor River. And if we look the other direction, following the river will actually bring us to Newton Circus. Yes, Newton Circus will be in that direction. And at Newton Circus, there's also another food center, Newton Food Center, where one of the scenes for the Hollywood movie Crazy Rich Asians was actually filmed there at the food center. So this is the circus, or the Newton Circus, which is one of the very rare roundabouts that you can find in Singapore. In Singapore, there are not many roundabouts, but this is one of the few roundabouts that you can find in Singapore. And in that direction is Newton Food Center. And the highway going across there is actually the Newton Flyover. So what we're going to do is, to continue following the river, we need to head along, following the river underneath Newton Circus, which is underneath here. It will go this direction and then it will turn right. But there's some construction going on around there, so I need to go up ahead and I need to go and see what I can find, or whether I can continue walking along that direction. So in the distance there, you notice that there's construction where we came from, and the river still flows underneath here. If you actually walk in that direction, across the road, you actually will bring you to Newton MRT station. But we're going to continue walking along here. And one thing you also should notice that the water seems to be flowing in that direction. Previously, the water used to be flowing away towards the mouth of the river, but here, from Newton Circus, the flow of the water actually changes. And of course, the river, again, is in between these two roads. So the road I'm walking along now is called London Road. And one thing good here is, at the moment, because of renovation, there's actually a sheltered walkway for me to walk. So I don't have to worry too much about the sun on this side of the road. On the other side of the road is called Bukit Timah Road. Unfortunately, on that side there, they haven't actually built the sheltered walkway yet. And also at this junction here, it seems like there's some construction going on along the river. So I'm not able to go in the middle of the road to actually have a look at the river. But we're going to continue walking down here, and there's a car park here, and the name of this place is called Gold Hill. Where's the hill? I don't see any hill here. I only see a car park. Maybe because the hill is made of gold, people actually came here and stole all the gold away. So that's why there's only a car park, a flat area left now. And here is the Anglo-Chinese School along Baker Road. But we're not going to go to school. We're going to continue walking along the road. So the river is supposed to be in between, but I cannot really see the river from here because of all the vegetation. So I may have to climb up onto this overhead bridge and see whether I can find the river from up here. So here is Dunedin Road. We are walking along the road just now, and we keep heading this direction. Let's see whether we can find the river. So Dunedin Road here, and the river should be in between this road and Bukit Timah Road. This is actually quite a long overhead bridge, and it gives you quite a nice view of the treetops from here. And looking at this overhead bridge, it looks quite old too, maybe like 30 to 40 years old, because they don't build overhead bridge like this anymore. And here we are, we found the Rochor River, which flows, which seems to flow from Newton Circus down here all the way down that direction. If the river wasn't blocked, the river actually looked quite nice actually. But anyway, we have crossed the overhead bridge and we are walking along Bukit Timah Road. You can see there's some shrubbery, some shrubs that are blocking the view of the river. And on this side here, more condominiums. So this area here is actually you can consider this a well-off area. Lots of condominiums, lots of private houses on this side of the road and also on the other side of the road. As I was walking along Bukit Timah Road, I noticed there's something happening at the river here. The water seems to actually make a right turn here. So I'm curious to find out what actually is happening here, and to do that I need to climb again on an overhead bridge to have an overhead view of what's happening. So the story so far, what happened? The water, the Rochor River actually flows from Newton Circus in between this road here, which is Bukit Timah Road, and that road, which is Dunedin Road. In between those two roads, the river flows under our feet, under this bridge, in that direction, and then makes a right turn. And over there, actually waters is actually a river, the Rochor River coming from Bukit Timah Reserve, Nature Reserve. Yes, in that direction. So the waters meet here and both make a turn into like underground tunnel again. So look at that. So the water from Bukit Timah and from Newton Circus both turn into here. And from here, it goes underground, under the road, and heads past the school. So in that direction. So if you continue in a straight line in that direction, you will actually reach McRitchie Reservoir, which is here, which is a possible location where the water goes to. Or if the water makes a right turn, the water could actually continue to flow underground and connect again along the PIE to the Kallang River. So there are actually two possible locations where the water could actually flow to or end up. So it can actually end up using to the Kallang River, and from Kallang River all the way to the sea. And so I guess this brings us to the end of our adventure here today. It didn't end where I thought it would have ended, but still a very interesting adventure. The waters flows underground and disappeared, and unless I have X-ray vision, I will not be able to find out where the water actually finally ends up. So Hope you enjoyed what you saw so far. This has been our Getting Lost adventure, where we explore areas of Singapore that people have not been to. And I especially like to walk along rivers. So I hope you enjoyed this adventure with me. And before we go, if you have not done so, please help me by liking my video, sharing my video, and also subscribing to my channel. And lastly, but the most important thing, the thing that you have to do is to join me for my next adventure. I will see you there. Bye bye.